Hey guys, it's Jordan with OptionBot, and in this video, you're going to see my bots live in action. Okay, as I'm filming this right now, you can see the market opened a couple hours ago right here. We kind of haven't really been moving for the past 2 hours or so, but I have two different accounts on OptionBots actually up right now. So I'm going to show you the first one here, and we have actually two different brokers that I'm working with. So one of them is tastytrade. You can see I'm in this QQQ put credit spread here, which I'll go over in a sec, and then on my TradeStation account, you can see I'm in, if I go to this positions tab here, we're in this SPX credit spread as well. So let me go ahead and start with this one. I'll explain why I have a few different accounts. We're doing a bunch of different testing, so that's why we have a lot of these different bots. A lot of them are turned off. But for the first one I'll show you, which is this QQQ one, this is actually one of our bot templates called Boost right here. So if I go to our template guide, you can see Boost. This is a 1 DTE short put spread bot on the Qs. If I click it, you can see the back testing profile on it, and it looks pretty solid, right? Other than here, we have this pretty decent sized drawdown, but for the most part, it looks pretty solid. You can see the average stats, kind of the average win, the average loss. Overall, not too bad at all. Now, if we look at the actual trade, this one got in, I believe, earlier today. Yes, right here at 11:02 a.m. So a little bit over an hour ago, we got filled at 70 cents. If I actually go to the bot itself here, the Boost, you can see under the positions that it's showing it right there. We got filled at 70 cents. In this one, you can see we're shorting the 574 put and we're buying the 564 put as well. Okay, now you can see it was currently live. We're up about $15, $16 on the day, right? We're only doing one contract as a test, so nothing too crazy on this account here. But you can see on the Qs, if I zoom out, again, we are shorting that 574 put right here, and we are buying the 564 like that as protection. I think those were the right spreads if I go back. Yeah, 574, 564. Now, these look pretty far out. Now, you may look at this type of trade and say the risk reward is not great. I mean, we're risking, I don't know what that is, like $1,300 if my math is right. Or sorry, like almost $9,000 or almost $10,000. Sorry, almost $1,000 to make $70. Excuse my math there, which doesn't look good. However, the good thing about this specific bot is we have take profits and stop losses in place. So I'm not risking the actual $1,000. I believe on this bot, this one's a template, so it's not going to show it on here, but I believe it's like around 40% take profit and like a 70% stop loss, something like that. So overall, not too bad. And the good news is, if we look at the Qs on a daily chart, as long as price stays above this 574 by the end of the day tomorrow, so you can see this is a 1 DTE spread. So this one expires, well, today's Friday, so it's showing 3 days, but technically 1 day of expiration. So as long as the price stays above 574 at the end of the day tomorrow, this trade is going to make me money. And again, there's auto take profits and stop losses, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, the other trade I'm in is this one right here. This was a test bot that I made, all right? Now, I actually turned it off, but even though I turned it off, it's still going to monitor the exits for me on the specific trades. You can see I got filled at 250 on this SPX credit spread here. If we go back to the bot, you can kind of see, if I look at it right there, this one is a simple SPX credit spread. You see I got in at 10:10, so a little over 2 hours ago. Went with the 50 delta, 5 spread width. And you can see 30% take profit, 30% stop loss on that one. Okay, and this one we're down about $10, so really kind of break even. If we go to SPX over here and we start to zoom in a little bit, just like this. So this one, what was that? We sold the 6555 by the 60s. So that would be right here. By the 60s is right there. So in this particular trade, as long as price stays below this level right here, we are going to be in profit. We're going to be making money. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to do that, right? If we start to chop around this kind of area throughout the whole day, come down around here, we can still profit because, again, we have that 30% take profit and 30% stop loss on this exact bot. So this is currently running right now, and we're going to wait and see if we get in or get out. Honestly, it may not happen in the next hour or few hours. It may take the whole day for this trade to happen. So I'm not going to sit here and have this be a 5-hour long video, but the point of this video is that you can go ahead and kind of see exactly how these bots actually work and how they're moving, right? So you can kind of see the log as well. You can see the bot statuses when they open, all that kind of stuff. And really, I'm just going to sit here and let these trades play out. Now, again, you may be looking at some of these bots, and again, especially like this QQQ one, and saying, Jordan, looks pretty solid, but this is a crazy amount of risk, right? You're putting a lot of buying power. You're not making that much. But again, the important thing to understand is that you have take profits and stop losses in place. Now, the other thing that's interesting, we have a few other bots, if I go back to here, that are currently active and running, but some of these didn't get into a trade today. And the reason for that is, I don't know if I can find an example here. Oh, there's a template. But if I go back to the other account I'm in and I look at this, you can see the VIX settings, right? So minimum and maximum VIX. So on this bot, I set it in between 1 and 40, right? On some of the other templates, it's between 1 and 25 or 1 and 20. And since we're above 25 as I'm making this video, it didn't get into that specific trade. So the cool thing about these bots is, like, in a day like today where volatility is relatively high, you can set up your bot in a way where you say, hey, if my VIX is below 20 or 25, I don't want it to get into a trade. And it's not going to get into a trade for you. So very simple stuff like that makes it really easy to actually use this platform and run these bots. If we go back to the template guide, you can see all the templates that come with a subscription. So we have a few 1 DTE bots. You can see I'm in the Boost one right now. We have an Anchor one. This is a SPY put spread. We have a Glider. This is an SPX Iron Condor bot looking really solid. We have a few different 0 DTE ones as well. I think the SEC or some, they're going to get rid of the 25K minimum rule before the end of this year, which is great. So pretty much almost everyone will be able to use these 0 DTE bots. You won't need to have 25K in your account. But all of these look pretty solid. You can see we have some, like Shield and Spike go really good together because one of them is a short put spread. The other one is a short call spread. So you're kind of setting up these Iron Condors in a way, but you can also profit on both. So there's a lot of different ways you can profit off these bots. Now, the other really cool thing about this is that all of these had take profit stop losses in them. So a lot of the worry, especially with myself when I first got into bots, is, well, I don't want to get into a trade and then have to worry about getting assigned on them or getting exercised or, what if it goes out? And actually, if I go ahead and make one of these bots, if I go ahead and show you, if I just go to add a trading bot here, let's go on a test bot, add it to a broker. Let's say I do a credit spread. Right, if I go through IWM, let's say we do like a 0.2 delta. We're doing a bull put spread with a $1 width. You can see, if I actually, it's on the next slide. So let's say we do a 0 DTE, right? We only want the VIX between 1 and 25. And let's say we want to get in this one every day, let's say towards the end of the day, like 2 p.m., kind of take advantage of that options decay towards the end. We have something here called a forced exit. Okay, and this means minutes before close. So let's say, again, we have our typical take profit. Let's say it's 50% take profit, 50% stop loss, nice even 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. This right here allows me to get out of the trade before the market closes. So, for example, if I'm getting an IWM trade today, like so, and I don't want to hold this into the close, I could simply go here and say, go right here and say 25 minutes. And so 25 minutes before the market closes, if the take profit or the stop loss hasn't hit, it's going to close that trade for me, right? I personally, on a personal preference, not a recommendation to you, always like doing this around 5 or 10 minutes, especially so I can collect that last premium towards the end of the day. Sometimes you get some crazy move, especially like yesterday. I was kind of within the last hour, we got a crazy move. So you do want to be careful with that. But ultimately, setting it like this makes it super simple. There's a few other advanced settings there. You can take, let's say, 2 contracts, and then boom, launch it, and there it is. Pretty simple stuff to do like that. Now, over here, you would go right here and turn it on. I'm not going to turn it on because it was a test. I don't want to run this. But you get the idea. And simply using this platform has completely changed the way I trade, right? I can simply come on. I'm no longer looking at the charts and making strategies. I'm simply going to this platform and building these bots. Right? And if you're brand new, you don't want to make these bots, you can always just use the templates in place and make it really easy for you. But this is going to be the future of trading. You can see I'm already up 18 bucks on this trade. This one looks like I'm down about 20 bucks. Now I'm break even. It's moving very quickly. It's an SPX trade like that. So we'll see what ends up happening. But again, as long as on QQQ, right, this stock stays above this 574 level by the end of the day tomorrow, I'm going to profit. And on this SPX trade, as long as we stay below this 6555 level, which we did get above, We didn't hit our stop loss yet. I believe we'd have to probably get up around here to hit our stop loss. So we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, we'll just let the bot do its thing. Again, I have not executed any of these trades myself. I haven't logged into the broker. That is the power of automation and using these bots. And again, the key here is that you don't just have 1 or 2 bots running on the Qs or IWMs. The goal here is to have 15, 20, 25 bots running at the same time. Then you get some that work in high volatility, low volatility, opening range breakouts. There's a million things you can do, but this is just scratching the surface of showing you what these bots can do. So if you are interested in getting early access, we do have a waitlist. You can hit the first link in the description below, kind of check it out, and join the waitlist. Completely free to join the waitlist, and we'll notify you when it's ready and live. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next one.